Hello and welcome to episode 269 of bookcareers.com live. We're back from our extended podcast break and we should be now broadcasting every other week. So do make sure that you're subscribed. We've got lots of exciting things coming up, and the time sensitive things I want to mention today are that this Thursday, the 26th of February 2026, there will be a Kindle daily deal on my book, How to Job Search in Book Publishing, The Ultimate Insider's Guide, to celebrate its first birthday. So if you haven't yet got a copy, then do grab yourself a bargain, and why not buy a copy for a friend too? Plus, we have a bookcareers.com takeover at the London Book Fair on the Thursday, the 12th of March 2026, where we will be continuing with our panel discussion, Publishing Jobs of the Future, having a live careers Q&A reminiscent of a Book Careers Job Club, and then our fantastic careers clinic in person takes place, where we have the recruitment teams from many key publishers available to talk to you. All of the details of these events are in the show notes which accompany this episode. Remember to participate in our events at the London Book Fair. You must have a ticket for the London Book Fair, and I have a limited number of free tickets available for those whose jobs have recently been made redundant from UK publishing. Now, an important event which happens before the London Book Fair is the printing charity's launch of this year's Rising Star Awards. And today we speak to Sam Nelson, the Senior Relationship Manager, Careers and Development from the printing charity, to learn all about the awards, the work of the printing charity, and how you can win an award. So we're here today with Sam Nelson, the Senior Relationship Manager, Careers and Development for the printing charity. Welcome, Sam. Could you please tell us about the printing charity and its aims?
Absolutely. Hi, Suzanne. Thank you for having me. So the printing charity is the leading charity in printing, paper, packaging, publishing, and the graphic sectors. And we also support the trades that are allied to those sectors. We operate nationally, and our mission or our aims, as you said, is to provide practical and emotional support to people in our industries whenever it's needed. We also provide financial support for those who are struggling with unaffordable or unexpected costs, or even the ongoing cost of living increases. And then we're also committed to championing young talent through our careers and development work, of which I'm privileged to lead. And the Rising Star Awards is the flagship initiative. So, me personally, I look after the careers and development side, as I said. So, what that means is running our annual awards program that I'll tell you a little bit more about later on, and also stewarding the alumni of that program to all the winners and providing ongoing support for their career development and encouraging them to stay in all of the industries that we support, which includes publishing, of course.
That's great. So tell us, I know your big awards are the Rising Star Awards. So please, can you tell us everything we need to know, really?
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose just circling back to what the charity does, just before I forget, obviously many of your listeners are looking at careers in publishing, but also many are already in publishing. So those in the publishing industry can go to theprintingcharity.org.uk to look at the services that we provide and see how they make contact with us, and um, see how they can use us and how we support them. And also those considering joining publishing can go and have a look and see what they get as part of support if they join the industry, which would be great. And actually, from a sort of publishing and book publishing point of view, a possibly interesting note is that Charles Dickens has been our president twice. So just a little tie in there for you. Um, so yes, so the Rising Star Award. So as I said, that's the flagship point of our careers and development support, annual awards program for anyone in our supported sectors in any role. And those who apply and win can win up to £1,500 to spend on training and development. The only criteria is that you must be aged at least 18 and up to 35 when the application period opens for that year's awards. And of course, being employed in one of our supported industries, which you can find on our website if you're supported. And of course, ask us if you're unsure. So the awards really, they recognise the importance of supporting young people in building their careers, and also recognises the need to support employers in upskilling our industry talent and retaining them. Across all of the industries that we support, there is a general feeling, and it is backed up by facts and figures, but that we have an aging workforce and we need to support our young people to drive through and keep their talent. That's for employers with budgets, with constraints and things. So the Rising Star Awards and our careers and development program really sits alongside supporting employers and the employees. So again, just a little bit more about it. They're not designed to replace employer training, but they're designed to enhance and help them get more cross training, more skills. So we encourage applicants to plan their career journey, look at their skills gaps, consider what additional training could take them to the next level. As an example, you might work in editorial in publishing, but you might want to move into marketing. And it's perfectly reasonable for an employer to say, we can't send you on a marketing course because we haven't got the budget to upskill you in that way. So the Rising Star Awards could be a way for you to show what you want to do with your journey, take on some of that training yourself, more employable for your current employer to say, oh, actually, we can see you've got those skills, you've learned a bit, and we can move you into those roles. So it's really that collaborative bit as well. I guess within that, that's very much just an example. It's not for us to tell the applicant, and this is quite an unusual thing. It's not for us to tell the applicants what they can apply for, or what they want to achieve, or also what is reasonable for their employer to provide. It's about them really looking at their journey, mapping it, talking to their employer and saying, would you fund that? Can you fund that? And then coming to us to say, this is what I've put together to move forward, and that's in the application. And then also as part of a win, you get access to the alumni program, as we call it, which is something that me and the team have worked really hard on developing over the last couple of years. Win an award, we provide like some extra webinar training in important soft skills, all free. We also provide networking opportunities. We are looking at launching a mentoring scheme, which is great. It gives you, if it all comes together as I hope it will, and we're 90% there, it will give people a really good opportunity because they're all winners from different areas of all the industries that we support. It will give people opportunity to talk to bits of the industry that feed into there. So publishers will potentially be able to be mentored by paper suppliers, by printers, and really understand how that all fits together as well as enhancing their career. And also we've had lots of Rising Star winners speak at events, speak on panels with us. So just all these little things that go around building confidence, enhancing your career, and hopefully making it a lovely thing to be part of.
Now that sounds brilliant because going back to, the kind of training or career development that you can apply for is I remember when I was working in an admin role in sales. And I saw a training course, professional selling to the book trade, which at the time was one of the main training courses run by the Publishing Training Centre. And I
Yep.
wanted to be trained in basically how to be a rep and a sales manager. And my boss there was no training budget. My boss wasn't very forthcoming about me doing the training anyway. But thanks at the time to a charitable grant, then by the Unwin Foundation, I was able to get sponsorship and go and do the training at a nominal cost for my employer, but it completely changed my career progression quite rapidly. And it's those kind of things that I think our listeners should be aware of. It's when there's something that, look, you really want to do. So maybe you're working in marketing and you want to be an editorial and you want to have some formal editorial training to help your career transference. So this is about you and not so much your employer. It's about your own personal development and your own career plans. And as you know, if you're thinking about your career plans or thinking about what training course you might um, apply for within the Rising Star Awards, that we have a careers clinic here at bookcareers.com that's free 15 minutes. So if you wanted to run something by me before applying for the Rising Star Award, then I'd be happy to have that conversation. The link is on the show notes and on the Book Careers website. Now, how do you apply for an award and what makes a successful application? Like who gets
That
turned down?
Yes, all great questions, and hopefully I can answer them all. Just thinking about what you said about your grant and the Unwin Foundation, that's a really great example. And on our website, we've got lots of things, lots of quotes from previous winners about how transformational stepping out of your comfort zone and getting involved in these kind of things is. So, it really does make a huge difference. So how do you apply? So the awards, many things in the industries that we work in are, traditional awards where you're nominated because you're good at something, and that's great. But these are not nomination based. They are online application via our website. It's open, as I said, 2nd of March to the 29th of March this year, and each year there's a window of about that much. So you do an online application via our website. And then, if successful at that stage, you get invited to a virtual interview. Um, just again, circling back a little bit to what you said about it being about the individual, that's absolutely right. We encourage collaboration with um, maybe your line manager, HR, someone like yourself, Suzanne, to really look at what could support a career. But this is about the individual finding their next path, hopefully within the same business, but certainly within the industry, um, and getting the training to map that. So it's very much an application driven by the applicant, with us encouraging them to be collaborative with your employer because they will know what makes a good employee. So successful applications. So the application form itself, just to give you an idea, it's very simple. It's about 5 questions. Obviously, you put all your details in there so we can contact you. You have a referee in there so we know that we can contact someone at your business, all that normal stuff. But there's around about 5 questions, and it really does follow the path which I'm sort of laboring through this, through many of the other things we do, like webinars that you can find on our website. It follows that path of what have you done? Why do you love your job and your industry? Where do you want to get to? What have you chosen to help you get there, and why? It's, for me, because I live it, it seems very simple. There are questions that you need to think about, but we're not trying to trip everyone up. It's
Yeah.
very much about show us what you want to do. Successful applications all look very different because people from all areas of any business and all sectors apply. And just to be very clear, it doesn't matter where you are in the business. If you're employed within publishing or anyone else that might be listening to this within one of our supported sectors and a business in it, it doesn't matter where you are in it. So, for instance, someone who works in, say, journalism that we support will write very differently to someone who maybe works in print finishing. So we don't mark on grammar or how many words. There's no word limit. You're not marked up or down for writing too much or too little. It's about the clarity of what your journey's been and what you want it to be. So again, we try and be very sort of supportive of different ways of writing and different ways of applying. And that passion and that journey is clear, whether it's in 5 paragraphs or 5 lines. So also it's very to look at what the outcomes of the training you choose are. So, you mentioned that you wanted to do a sales training course. And so there are many of those kind of things out there. So it's very much important that you look at what goes on in the course and how that will support you. It doesn't necessarily have to be publishing specific, although the PTC are great. But if you understand what that will give you, then that's very key. You said, why don't people win? So that's a really interesting one. And I will definitely give reasons, but to give a bit of background, we very much want the experience, and I want the experience to be a great learning and development opportunity. So by deciding to apply and looking at your career, seeing where you might want to go, what other roles interest you, speaking to other people in different departments, already you've had some development there. Then if you fill in an application form, it's great to write and think about it and think about your career. So another bit of development. If you are unsuccessful at application, we give you full feedback. So that's either written by myself or my colleague Rosie, and we tell you why you were unsuccessful and try to give constructive feedback. Then again, at interview, same. If you come to an online interview and speak to people who are senior in whatever industry, working in whatever field, you will be getting development, you will be getting thoughts, you will understand, maybe how you are in an interview, maybe what you can work on. And again, if you're unsuccessful at that stage, we give you full feedback as to why and encouragement to apply again. Very important to note that you can apply as many times as you need to. You can only win once, but you can apply as many times as you need to, as long as you remain age and industry eligible. And we have many people who win in their second and third year of applying. So why don't people win? That was a bit of a preamble, I understand, but I do want to answer that. It generally comes down to, in the application form, in the application stage, it generally comes down to things like not having a clear journey, not showing us why that training will enhance it. Potentially, it's very core to their current role, so we can't step into the shoes of employers. And, at the interview stage, we have expert judges in the room. So I'm there, or my colleague Rose is there from the charity point of view, but we have independent judges. And again, it tends to be things like they think it's a bit early in the person's journey. So they've got a lot on their plate with maybe doing an apprenticeship or still doing a college course on the side. Or maybe it's not clear what their career path will be. And they've put, they talk about a few different things. And also that often that the course doesn't fit when they dig into it and they say, I want to be X, and the course teaches us Y, and they can't marry it up. What I want to be very clear on is we're not giving awards because the people are not deserving of the awards. What we are giving the awards for is the important bit, and that is to give someone the best learning, the best opportunity by this one grant that they can get. That person doesn't deserve it. It's about it might be the wrong time, the wrong course, the career path is muddled, and we want to then support them to think about how they do that more. And we run webinars. So on our website, you can sign up to our newsletter. Um, you don't have to be part of the industry yet to do that. Anyone can sign up to it. And that will tell you when webinars are, when training things are running, also social media, we put out things like that. So there's lots of information you can get. And of course, you can contact the charity to ask questions in the run up. We are not faceless. It's myself and my colleague Rosie and the team, and we're happy to give advice and, talk to people about their potential applications. We try not to lead anyone down any training path, that sort of thing. But if someone wants to say, this is the course I'm thinking of, would it be considered, or should my employer, what do you think about it? We're very happy to give an early view, because what we want to do is give people the best chance to show them their best selves. We also, it's not one award, it's multiple awards. So it's not necessarily unlimited. We do compare people and make sure that winners are all at the right stage of their career, but it's not about you versus anyone else. It's about you showing what is best for you and that it's the right time for you. So hopefully that gives you an idea of what
Yeah.
we're looking for both ways almost.
Yeah, and that's good. And just on the application questions, I'd like to refer our listeners back to past conversations that I've had about when answering any application questions, whether it's for a job, whether it's for training, authentic voice. Really put your heart and soul into your answers so that there's real clarity about who you are, what you want to do, why this training is so important to you, and why this particular training course. So make sure, as Sam was saying, make sure you've read the prospectus of the training course. Make sure that you've done that in order to be able to write a great application. And Sam said he and Rosie and the printing charity are willing, there's lots of stuff online to give you guidance, but they're willing to have a quick chat with you. I'm willing to have a quick chat with you as well. So we'll leave that bit there. But is there anything else you want to add, Sam, today?
Um, I mean, not really. I guess from a charity point of view overall, if you work in an industry that's supported, I would just encourage you to look at our website as I trailed before, maybe sign up to our newsletter, because whether you need us or not, from any of the support point of view, um, it's very likely you'll come into contact with someone who does, and awareness is key. So please research us, have a look, see what we do, and see what we provide, and tell people about us. So yeah, that's really, with all these
Great.
things, awareness and thinking about it. Yeah.
Great. And Sam's contact details and all the contact details for the printing charity will be in the show notes that accompany this episode. Now, Sam, we're in the National Year of Reading, and I've always been told I don't talk enough about books on this podcast. So, what book are you reading at the moment?
Um, well, I don't get a huge amount of time to read anymore because I have a young family. I used to read a lot of sort of historical war fiction, so a lot in like the Roman Empire and Napoleonic Wars, sandals and toga, as my wife and my mother-in-law call it, because also my father-in-law, we used to pass books between each other. Um, and actually, another digression, both my mother and father-in-law are trained librarians, so they've got a very big book culture in the family. Um, Also, sort of general fiction, I suppose you'd call it. I used to read a lot of stuff like my wife likes William Boyd and people like that. So I've read a few of those, just picking them up and needing a book to read. But currently, I'm reading The Empire's Core Book 5, The Outcast by Christopher G. Nuttall. And actually, when you sort of spoke to me about the podcast and asked, sort of said, I may ask you about what you're reading. And I thought, well, this book isn't very nuanced. And actually, I've been thinking about it more, and I sort of disagree with myself now. So it's in general, it's about a elite force of Marines who are going around space, getting into all kinds of stuff after the fall of what they call the Galactic Empire. But actually, when I take in what I'm reading and not sort of just read it for the fact that I want some good old detachment and some battles, and it does talk a lot about society and about economics and why the empire fell. And like all of these things, there's a ribbon of truth going through it about social conversation. So that's what I'm reading, and from a what I want point of view, it's definitely a great read if you just the series is great if you want a bit of sci-fi battles, people, stomping on people and that sort of thing. But also it does work your mind a little bit. So yeah, that's where I am currently.
That's great. And Christopher G. Nuttall is also a very good example of prolific self-publishing because all his books are
Mm.
published on Amazon. The early ones were done on CreateSpace, which was Amazon's name for Kindle Direct. So there'll be a link to the book that Sam is reading on the show notes as well. Sam, thank you so much for your time today. It's been enlightening. Thank you.
Uh, Thank you for having me. I mean, yeah, it's great to be on here. I hope some people find some good information from it, and yeah, delighted to have been involved.
Right. Thank you. If you're looking for a job in book publishing, please subscribe to this channel and visit bookcareers.com for further resources, including how to access one-to-one career guidance. And don't forget to buy the book, How to Job Search in Book Publishing, The Ultimate Insider's Guide. May you all be doing a job you love and being paid the salary that you so richly deserve.